Good morning from Hawaii. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Keep Going Podcast. Today, I want to introduce Shawn Henry down in St. Petersburg, Florida with Kids Lives Matter. My man, I hope everything has been great. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this today. So tell us, how's your 2020 going?
Hey Louis, man, thanks for having me on, brother. 2020 for me, man, it's been kind of like a roller coaster, man. I think for everybody, we've all had our ups and downs. I've personally been blessed to have a lot more ups in 2020 than I've had downs. But I was told something at the beginning of this year that, you know, when things like this happen, right, and we go through kind of what we're going through, right? We're going through a pandemic, the kind of the recession model. This is where Fortune 500 companies are made of, right? Like, this is the time where you got to be on top of your A game. And if you're on top of your A game and you can capitalize on a down market like this, you're going to come out on top. So when this all happened, somebody called me and said, listen, man, like, you got to learn how to play offense, not defense in times like this. What does that mean? That means, like, if you're, you know, for my solar company, what I did is I put more money into marketing. I went after more clients. I decided not to close down. I had a company call. I asked my 130 employees, I said, listen, I get it. If some of you are scared, we can shut down and be like the rest of the guys, or we can play offense, or we can play offense. We can hit this thing head on and we can keep pushing. Every single one of my people decided to keep pushing. Every single one decided to keep pushing forward. So what did that do for me? Well, first off, there was a buzz around the business, right? Other guys in the solar industry heard that we were staying open. We ended up recruiting about 30 of the top sales reps from the other 4 or 5 competitors. We would do about $2 million a month before the pandemic on average. If you average this out over a year, we have yet to hit under $4.5 million since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So we have doubled our business, right?
Wow.
I've doubled my employees. Now I'm in Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina. I was just in Florida before the pandemic. So when that guy called me and he said, you know, you got to learn to play offense, not defense, I truly took that to heart. And I went and I sat back, and the conversation of the Fortune 500 companies, where if you look that up in 2008, there's about 30 or 40 of those companies that after the recession made it to that list. Yeah. Right. They say that, you know, in a down market, if you capitalize, and you're going to come out on the other side even stronger than before you came in it. And that's how you get leaps and bounds ahead of your competition. So that's one thing that happened for me, which is great, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, if I can create more jobs and put more money into the economy, especially our city, like, you know, that's like the biggest thing for me is, like, when I drive downtown and I see cranes and they're working on buildings, I always tell my girlfriend, I was like, I'm making the city grow. Like, you see that type of stuff and you see construction going on in your city, that's your tax dollars going hard to work to make your city a better place, right?
100%.
So that's one victory. Couple drawbacks, man. I mean, one, I ended up getting COVID.
Oh, yeah, you and me both.
I got it, man. I'm going to tell you guys about it. So I ended up getting it, and I ended up giving it to some of my employees.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm CEO of the year this year.
Yeah. Damn, Shawn, you gave me COVID.
Yeah. Not only does he write my paychecks, but he gets me sick as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I ended up, I forget what I did. So they opened the bars when like the first time they did. So we went out that weekend, and I thought this thing was a hoax. I thought it was just bullshit, which don't get me wrong, I still think it's BS how it's been portrayed, but it is a real virus. So like Tuesday I go into work and I'm like, man, I'm not feeling too good. Like, I was a little just tired, and I'm usually never tired. And I just bought a brand new truck down in Miami. I had to go pick it up. So I had my site surveyor, who's my best friend, Stefan. I said, hey, why don't you drive me down there, pick up this truck? And on the way down, it was a 4-hour drive. Every hour I felt worse. I could feel it. It was fucking awful. I felt worse. And by the time I got the truck, I was like, Jesus, like, I'm getting sick. So the next day I go home. That whole night I'm fucking sweating. I'm dying. Like, it's a real flu, and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's a flu. It felt just like a regular flu, but without the vomiting, right? Where your fever, bones hurt. You're just like, I'm tired. So next day I wake up, I'm sick. I go get tested. It comes back positive. By the time I was able to get the test back and tell people in my office,
Uh-oh.
Everybody's fucking sick. So I had my COO working from home with COVID, who could barely talk. I thought at one point I was like, okay, you need to go to the hospital. But he said, no, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and feel better. And swear he woke up, he felt better the next day. So I was very happy. But we ended up getting like 5 or 6 people sick. So that's the drawback of 2020 for me. But honestly, man, like I lived in fear before I got it. And I was really, really like not scared. I wasn't scared of it because I'm a healthy person, but I was just like, well, fuck, like we're going to have to get it. Like eventually we're going to have to get it to get the antibodies so you can just kind of live with it. And since I've been over it, I'm back to living my regular life. Like I'm back to, not having to wash my hands every fucking 3 seconds. And sorry if I'm cursing on here.
No, go for it. We're being natural, brother. Natural.
Just who I am. So, yeah, man. So I'm back to living my regular life and it feels good. Some other positive things in 2020, man, this is something that kind of sprung in my lap. You're talking about Project Kids Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I'm big into giving back. I mean, I donate a ton of money. I donate time. And I'm always trying to help people out. Like that is I serve other people. I always tell my parents, like I was put on this earth to serve. And I'm also put on this earth to change my family's last name for generations and generations and generations. Like before me, we didn't have shit. So like
you sound just like me. I love it. Keep going.
You know what I mean? But that's like, bro, like that's my purpose is like, for real. That is like, I'm going to serve my whole life. And I understand that I'm going to work, I'm going to miss out on things, but I promise you, like the people after me, they're going to live good. They're going to go to school. They're going to get degrees. They're going to start businesses. They're going to be upstanding citizens. They're going to be good kids, parents, sisters, brothers. Like, so
absolutely.
So that's my thing. Like, and I don't have kids yet, and I'm doing it backwards, right? So my goal is to sell my company within 5 years, cash out with $200 million, take care of the people who helped me grow this, and then I'm going to raise my family, and I'm going to be there every step of the way. I grew up without a dad, so it's like. He came back to my life when I was 23. You know what I mean? Like that's a weird time to come back into somebody's life, like from 6 and then you're gone. And then 23, you call him and wish him a happy 21st birthday. Like he's still,
mine never came back. Good for you.
Like that's a good, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Cause I never met him. So it's all good.
So that's a blessing, but it's like, me and my dad are like best friends now. So I don't really call him dad. I don't look at him as a dad. He doesn't give me advice like a father because he really can't, because he didn't know how I grew up. Right. My mom raised me, and me and my mom, we have a rocky relationship, but that's because she's the one that always had to be the reprimander. Right. So there's things that I look back and I resent a little bit about her for that, but I shouldn't. But it's just like how you come up, and in some circumstances you're in, like you have feelings, and at the end of the day, sometimes your feelings can be overwhelmed with guilt, with hurt, with not forgiving people, and that's something I'm trying to work through with my mom right now. So but yeah, man, like getting back to the whole dad thing, like that's probably a blessing that yours didn't, because there's times where I wish mine didn't. You know what I mean? Where I was like, damn, because when he first came back, it was like so much heartache. Like, dude, like my first question was like, where the fuck were you? Like that was my first question when I called him back, and he answered. He's like, "Hey, buddy." Swear to God, that's exactly what he said. And I'm just like, dude, like, where the fuck were you? Well, and he just gave me some bullshit excuse, and I hung up on him. And my mom's like, "What?" And I was like, "I don't want to talk to him." I was like, "I'll call him in a couple of days." But I calmed down and ended up calling him in a couple of days. But back to the generational thing is, man, like you gotta have quick. Go ahead.
About your mom. Look where you are today, and just love your mom, man. But at the end of the day, all those feelings set aside, look where you are today, look what you're able to do for people, and look at the change you're making. And just love your mom.
Yeah, man. Like you're not the first person that's told me that. And it's like, I keep telling my girlfriend, she's trying to force the relationship, but it's, dude, it's just
gotta happen.
I know it does. I know. My mom's getting older too. She's like declining in health. So it's like, I know it's on me to, try to get over there more and make it happen, but it's tough, but it is the right thing to do. So, that's something I'm definitely working on. I know that's on my goal board this year, is to work on my family and friends. For those of you guys listening, watching, like you gotta have a dream board, and let's get back to that in a minute. we can kind of talk about the whole generational stuff. So yeah, man, that's my goal, man, is I want to do it backwards. Like I want to work, grind, sell, have babies, raise my family, be there for everything, be the provider, the lover, the leader of the pack, and kind of give them the life that I didn't, and make sure that they don't make the same mistakes that I made, because I've made tons. So
heard that. Felt that one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's I was actually talking to an old mentor last night. He messaged me, we're getting Tony Dungy involved in the Kids Lives Matter, and he got me in touch with his assistant, and he put us on a group thread. But before that conversation, this guy Cheyenne, he's gave me my first sales jobs when I got off probation. He really guided me. He's the one that helped get me in that Dale Carnegie program that we talked about prior. He invested in me, and this was 12 years ago, 10 years ago, and I still talk to the man. And we were messaging last night, and I just told him, I was like, dude, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me make mistake after mistake after mistake in my life and learning from it, and then taking me in at such a pivotal time in my life and grooming me to, I didn't know I was going to be on this level one day, but, grooming me to be able to handle what I handle now. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing, you never want to forget those people, right? Because those are your roots, especially as you grow as a man and you grow into business and you grow into being an influencer, a public figure. You got to remember those moments and those people that this is why I'm doing this, is because of somebody like that.
Absolutely. 100%. Always, man.
So that was a great conversation last night. And he's getting us in touch with Tony Dungy, and now I'm going to go into the really exciting stuff. I don't know if you guys can see this. His Lives Matter merch.
I ordered my shirt last night.
Yeah, you got it?
No, not yet. Got to ship to Hawaii. Yeah, so.
Cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we just got a bunch of new merch in, but so I'm going to kind of frame the story and then kind of bring it home with who we are and what we're doing, right? So about a year and a half ago, my life changed. I applied for this entrepreneurship group. It's called the Arate Syndicate, all right? They take 60 applications a year. There was 40,000 applicants that applied to be in this group. It's really expensive to get into. I got accepted, right? It went back and forth on paying the fee. The fee is what the fee is almost double what most people make in a year. A lot of goddamn money. So I was going back and forth. I was like, do I do it? And am I going to learn? And what am I going to learn? Is it going to take me to the next level, take my business to the next level? What type of people am I going to meet? Well, I did it. So I ended up doing it. I ended up signing up, and I went off to the first event was Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It was last August. And I'll never forget, I'm sitting in the car, my girlfriend's driving me to the airport, and we're pulling up, and I'm getting emotional. I'm just like, what's this going to be like? I'm super nervous. Do I deserve to be here? Because at this point, I'm not where, you got to think, this is a year and a half ago, so I'm not where I am now. And I've grown so much in the last year and a half. So I'm nervous, and I'm, going back and forth. I'm kind of getting emotional, damn, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Am I just overthinking shit? And my girlfriend looked at me, she's like, Justin, chill. She's like, you know what you're doing. She's like, this is, this business, this is how you go and you learn, you become better. And then she's like, do me a favor. She's like, when you go, she's like, I need you to let your guard down. She goes, be open-minded and let your guard down. Don't be CEO Shawn here. She's like, just be Shawn. And when I went there and I started meeting all these badass people you see online, you're like, holy shit, that's so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? People where you're like,
right.
Person's in my group with me. That's when you have some validation, damn, these people were picked to be, there's billionaires in my group. Yeah. So the fact that I just knew that I made that cut, I started gaining confidence. Then as the events go on, I'm starting to learn more, and I'm starting to make relationships, and I'm starting to get complimented on just my charisma, my energy. They can tell I'm really authentic, and a lot of people started flocking to me, and there's people that were their second year there, and I'm making friends with everybody. Yeah. So that gives me some confidence. So now I'm starting to feel like I deserve to be here, man. I'm starting to get this vibe, all right, this is awesome.
Let's go.
Let's go, game time. So let's just say by the end of the event, I was a different person. And this is the only first event. We have 4 events throughout the year. So I was different. I came back different. I was locked in. I was self-serving, meaning I'm going to literally be the best version of myself. How am I going to get there? Well, it's going to be reading, making the right decisions, which I've always had a big heart, and I've always made the right decision when it came to doing right by other people. Does that make sense?
Yep.
When it come to myself and putting myself in bad situations, I'd make the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always treated people good. Always. I've always been a very like friendly, I'm here for you, even if it's a fucking stranger. I'm that guy that'll sit there and listen and talk to you and like you try to give you advice, which most people don't want to hear it. You know,
people try to pull you away from that, like, come on, Shawn, let's go. Like, stop.
Yeah, sometimes no, but I'm one of those where I'm like, no, I gotta finish the story. So it ties together. So yeah, man. So back to this RTA thing. So I come back and I'm just like locked in. My employees see a difference. Everybody's like, damn, like he's on it. So I ended up gaining a bunch of confidence. And then I did 75 Hard, which is a program I recommend to anybody that is trying to level up, because that's another thing that when I got back, I got locked into that, and that's changed my life. I've done it 4 times now. I've completed it once. This is my 4th time I'm doing it now. It helps you lock in, helps you block out the noise. It helps you not give a fuck about anything but what you have to get done and you moving forward, your business moving forward, the people around you. And if you haven't read the book, bro, go on his website, andyfrisilla.com, and buy that book.
I didn't even know it was a book. I'm on day 8 and I didn't know it was a book.
I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
I'm reading it right now. I'm almost done. I'm on like page 143.
Yeah.
And dude, it's written. You can tell he wrote it because I know how Andy writes. He definitely 100% wrote it himself. It is badass. It ties it all in. It brings everything home for 75 Hard and why each phase, and it breaks each phase down. And what you're doing, you're like, fuck, I felt like that, or I'm feeling that way. You know what I mean? So it's pretty badass.
Now I'm definitely gonna read it now. Hell yeah.
You have to. It's such a great book. He's one of the leaders of the RTA syndicate. So him and Ed Milet are our 2 hierarchy, and then you had the syndicate members, and then you had the accelerator members. So when I come back, man, I'm operating on a different level. And the year went by. We went to a few events. Same thing. Goggins, seeing all these speakers, implementing my core values, my culture, sales processes for operations. Like they teach you so much great shit that it would transform any business as long as you can take it in and implement it, right? And there's a few things I can share with you too on our private time. But there's a guy in there named Aaron Nash. He is a 2nd-year person. He is one that sits on the board. Aaron's a badass. Aaron's a student. He's somebody that I looked up to, and he lives in Fort Myers. But we have a lot of the similar past. Messed up a lot, been arrested, did drugs. Like we were the same kids growing up, and we're the same as adults now, right? So we've messed up. We hit our wall and said, all right, like this is enough. Now we're business people and we've changed our lives and we're a lot alike. He reached out to me a month ago. This is after knowing him for 2 years, reached out to me a month ago and said, hey man, I know you do a lot with philanthropy. You give back a lot. I want to start a human trafficking nonprofit. And he's like, I want you to be my partner. And I was like, damn, like this is somebody I kind of look up to. So I was super excited. So when we started it, I didn't know how quick this was going to take off. Like this is just like, and I'll get into the numbers here in a second, but so we got on a Zoom call and we're like, all right, well, we need to pick a name. This was only a month ago. Yeah. And so we're like going through all these names. I was like, Kids Lives Matter, KLM. So he's like, it's got to be taken. And we're figuring like, it's got to be taken. No, nobody had Kids Lives Matter, which to me, I was just like, how the hell for human trafficking, for kids child trafficking, how is this not taken?
Nothing, not on Google, nothing. Wow.
Nothing. So we got Kids Lives Matter, right? That was the beginning. So now we're all amped up. We got the little American flag and with the kid there holding the flag.
Yep.
So now it's essentially, we don't know nothing about nonprofits. Neither one of us. We've never done this before. We have no idea what we're doing. So we filed for it. We got the nonprofit and they're like, well, what are we going to do? What's going to be our 2 avenues? Well, one, we're both real. Like, if you follow him on social, he is to the point, tells it how it is. If you don't like it, then fucking unfollow him. That's just how he is. He don't care. And I think that most people should be like that. And I'm kind of the same way, but I'm more toned down a little bit. Where was I going with that?
How you came with the non-profit, what you were going to
okay.
do.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. Sorry. My bad. All right. So we both are real and authentic, and we like kind of calling people out. So phase one is we're going to vet the other nonprofits in this space. And what does that mean? We're going to be digging in, we're going to be diving in, we're going to be finding out who they are, what they do, where their money goes, where your money is going, because most nonprofits, about 93 to 95% of them are a 10 cent to $1, meaning they're bullshit. What does that mean? That means you donate $1 and 10 cents of your money is going to help somebody, not $1. So we said, all right, well, on our site, what we're going to do is we're going to have a section where we're going to vet all these other companies and say who's good and who's bad. Who should you donate to? If you're not going to donate to us, donate to this extraction company, or donate to this information only company. These other ones don't do anything with their money. And we're going, even with our corporate sponsors, we're going to rank them on who donates the most. So our site's going to be kind of like I want to say like a awareness reviews portion, to where they can go and see what these other nonprofits do. And they've been vetted by us personally. So, it's real. We're not sugarcoating, sprinkles and rainbows types of guys. Like, we are going to ask you the hard questions. We are going to really put you on blast if you need to be put on blast. That's phase one.
Good.
That's
I need that.
Yeah, you need that these days, man. Yeah. Like, we're trying to make this a dollar for dollar nonprofit. We don't need the money. I don't need the money. He doesn't need the money. We're doing this because literally we saw a big issue in this space. We knew we could fix it. And we have a lot of high level people that have a lot of money that obviously they need to use it for write-offs. And if we can help and hire a few people like we have to facilitate all this, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody at this point. You know what I mean?
Right. 100%.
And the merchandise is badass too. I mean, it's comfy. The shirts are comfy.
I can't wait to get my shirt.
Yeah, dude, it's comfy. You're gonna like it. So phase two, man, it's the rehabilitation phase. Sorry, I've been talking all day.
No, go for it.
This is where we get people out of the rehab. We get them attorneys to fight legal processes. We get them into housing, dental work, books for school. We'll get them into a trade school, psychiatrists, doctors, lawyer, like you name it. We are here to help. We've already helped 17 families in the first 30 days. We've raised over about $60,000 already. The merchandise is like literally, it's crazy how much we're selling of it. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is something that we're passionate about. It's something that, if I can make a imprint on it now before I have kids, I'm going to. There's a lot of things that I wish I didn't know about this without having kids and stuff, because there's a lot of like, dude, there's stories where they'll literally use the kids up and then harvest their organs and sell their organs on the black market. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's going to make you stronger. Even if you didn't want to know half the shit, it's definitely going to make you want to get it done.
Yeah, 100%, man. But it's just like, I had to put out a message last week because so many people say, I wake up to videos in the morning of this stuff, and it's just like, don't send me that stuff. Like, and I tell everybody, don't send me that shit. At the end of the day, I'm running a business. I'm doing what I can from the front lines. I don't want to see the videos of like the traffic. Like, I just don't send them to me. At the end of the day, just let me wake up and do my business and do my part. And and that's just it at the end of the day. But it's
nobody
something
wants to see that.
Nobody does, man. I mean, especially when you're in the fight like that. Yeah, it may like spark you anymore, but I'm a type of guy, I don't need motivation. I don't need to wake up in the morning and to throw on a podcast to get motivated. I don't need to wake up in the morning and, take a cold shower to get motivated. Like, do I do that stuff? At times, yes, I do, because sometimes you do need a spark. But every day I wake up and I bring it. My team will tell you I'm the first one on the groups in the morning, and I'm the last one to go to bed at night after. There'll be times I'll ask for a leadership call at 10 p.m., because if there's things that need to get done, they need to get done. So that's it, man. That's my 2020 in a nutshell. It's been it's obviously for me, it's been a good year. I think for anybody that's struggling and you're listening to this, find a way to play offense and stop playing defense. Stop always trying to play it safe. I feel like that's the worst. Like, look at the Atlanta Falcons when they played the New England Patriots a few years ago. They were up 26-3 going into halftime, and they tried to play it safe instead of put their foot on their throats and let them bleed out. And they wanted to play it safe. And what happened? The Patriots came back because Atlanta got soft. They stopped going for it. They stopped going for the throat, which they should have, and they would have been Super Bowl champions. So, that's my thing, man. It's just, you have to find a way with what you're doing and what you're struggling with. You got to find a way to play offense. Stop playing it so safe all the time. And I see that a lot in my industry, right? I'm in a solar industry where you see sales reps are afraid to jump to another company, a better company, because, they're afraid that the other companies will hold their commission, where, the people that have made the jump over here, they're making double the money that they were at these other companies. And I'm just using that as an analogy because it's something I deal with every day.
Yeah.
But just find what you guys need to do to stop playing it safe, start playing offense, and, find different ways to make money. I feel like that's what a lot of people are struggling with right now,
No excuses. Hold yourself accountable. All that stuff. I think people are making too many excuses about 2020 and holding them back.
That's the truth. Honestly, I mean, that's what 75 Hard, if you guys listening and you're making excuses, 75 Hard will rid you of this disease. I promise you, because it's a disease. And being an excuse maker is a disease, and it can be cured. It can be cured, but there's no just simple vaccination for it. It takes work.
Yeah, this shit ain't easy.
No, like, I got a buddy in my phone. Where's my phone? His name's Matt Excuse Taylor. And he is one of the most talented sales reps. You know Matt Taylor?
No, but the name is funny.
Yeah, he went to St. Pete, so we played flag football together for years. He's one of those,
St. Pete too.
Yeah, so he was one of those talented sales reps I've ever met. He used to be my trainer, not mentor. He used to be my trainer, and he was somebody that I'd look up to in Verizon. And now the dude is just like a bum. And I call him out on it all the time. He's like one of my best friends, and we can have those good conversations. It's like, he's a funny dude, so he like gets it. And I called him the other day, and he's just like, man, he's like, I'm not making any money. He's like, I don't have time to do anything. And I'm like, you don't have time to do anything? If I were to tell my business and personal coach, Ben Newman, and I called and I said, Ben, listen, I'm running this fucking 8-figure, 9-figure a year company. I got this nonprofit blowing up. I'm doing this, but I can't find time to do my 75 Hard today, my outdoor workout. What the fuck do you think he's going to say? He's going to say, find time. There is time in the day. Well, what time you going to bed? 11? Okay, well, now you're going to go to bed at 12 because you're going to do your workout. Like,
right.
That is, I don't deal good with the excuses like that, because it's just like, dude, like, you're talking to the wrong person about that. But that's one thing. Like, that's how you're just defeating yourself, and you're killing your whole day, literally, by telling yourself at one point in your day that you don't have time to do something.
Right.
I guarantee you he had time to sit down and go rip the bong, or he had time to go sit down and have a nice meal, or sit down and talk to his wife for an hour. Like, dude, you got time to be productive and get shit done, Hell
yeah. I got off of work at 11:30 last night. It's 7:53 right now. We've been on this podcast for about a good hour going.
Oh, man. See, that's what it's about, bro.
Got to grind, man. What I need sleep for when I got hours to get shit done.
That's, dude, if more people had that mentality, like, I can't even tell you the last time I've slept in. So I'm so conditioned that if I were to even go out, say I went out on a Saturday night and I didn't get home till 3:30, 4 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm up at 6:45 no matter what. If I go to bed at 5, my internal clock, my eyes open, my body does this weird thing where it's like it wants to go back to sleep, and then it's like, nope, it's time. And then then I'm up. And I swear that's what I hate. And then, I can't go to sleep till 11, usually 10, 11 o'clock that next day. So, and I can't nap. So that's why it's like, I'm very, very structured though when it comes to my sleeping, because I understand that. So if I miss a day like that, I get bags under my eyes. I look like shit. So Monday through Friday, I'm so regimented that I don't do anything. I don't even go out. If it was my best friend's birthday on a weeknight, well, you can catch me on the weekend because I ain't coming.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, I'm very, if I'm out on a weeknight, it is like seeing Jesus, I feel like, oh shit, he's out. I've done it like once or twice, but at the end of the day, man, I mean, it's, you got to stay structured. You got to stay grounded. Another big thing, man, is standards over feelings. You got to have your standards, and your feelings got to be second. Like, no matter how you feel about somebody, especially in business, because if you're not, your feelings will help you keep the wrong people around you. The wrong people always make the wrong decisions. They're going to do you wrong. So, you know, that's
Big
another
facts. Big facts. Oh, I'm writing and recording.
All right, I got a bunch of good stuff I can give you, man. So, yeah, dude, let's wrap this thing up, man. And
yeah, man.
Dude, anytime you want to chat, you have my number. You can always give me a shout.
Yeah, brother, I really appreciate it, man. This is beautiful. I'm sure everybody who will be listening to this and that is listening is gonna fucking love this shit. You know, you came natural, you came hard. 75, man, you did it.
Yes, hey, that's
man.
the only way to be, man. Be yourself. Be a good person. Do good. Treat other people good. That's another big one, man. Like, a lot of people treat other people like shit. I'm that guy, that big tatted guy that's going to come up to you and help you open the door. I'm going to go carry your groceries. I put back my shopping cart. If I miss throwing something in the trash, I'm turning it around and going and picking it back up. Like, what type of person do you want to be? You know, and that's like, that's huge, man. That's like,
my man said, I take back the shopping cart. Man, I'll tell you, you're probably the second person I know that takes back the shopping cart. And the first person.
Oh God, there's other people that I'll even take other people's back. I swear. Like, if I'm one of those. You finish everything you do. So if I bring that cart out to my car, where does it go? It goes in. Like, that's, you know what? That's how you can tell a lazy person or not. I swear. You watch them put that cart up on that curb right there and they get in their car and take off. They're lazy. And I'll tell you a little story. Last week, actually, we're doing interviews for the call center. And out here, I have this little walkway, beautiful walkway, nice grass in front of our building. And this chick comes in for this interview. And she walks in, she goes inside for the interview. And I noticed when she left, instead of walking on the pathway, she cut across our grass to go to her car. Right? Like, across, I've never seen in my 4 years being here, I've had probably 400 employees throughout those times. I have never seen anybody do that. What do you think I did?
You called her out on it.
No, I fired her. Shit. She did not get the job that day. I went over to the guy that was hiring. I said, "Are you hiring?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "Not anymore." He's like, "Why?" And it was a lesson for everybody in the building, is you don't know who's watching, and that's laziness.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you never know who's watching.
Corners there. Well, because she cut corners.
Exactly. So it was a good lesson for everybody in my building, because I brought everybody over to, like, show everybody. And that's another thing. You can deliver on lessons like that and teach people. Dude, you can get a badass crew around you. You know, you can train your people to be better. That's just the mentality you have to have, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, man. Appreciate it. Shawn, brother, you came, you brought the truth, you brought real, and I'm sure everybody's going to appreciate that. As far as Kids Lives Matter go, everybody, listen, I have been to Publix and I have been asked to donate $1 to God knows who. And I said, no. Why? Because I can't see and I don't know who they are. But this man is a local from our area. We see him putting in the work. We've seen him put the work in with his prior business. He's helped a lot of people, and now he's doing it to help the kids. Come out here, listen to what he's got to say, listen to his partner, follow the message, you know, donate, support, buy clothes, donate diapers, food, whatever it is that the guy's asking for. Give, because this is something that has been going on, and frankly, there's not shit that many of us can do about it, really, at the end of the day. And so when there's somebody that's stepping up that can actually do something and is taking their time to do something, fucking listen and get to it. And that's it.
Yeah, man, it takes an army. At the end of the day, it just can't be one man. I need everybody behind me. I need everybody helping, sharing, you know.
100%.
I'm just the face of it. The people behind me are the ones that are really making it happen. You know what I mean? So listen, man, you have a blessed weekend. You let me know when they lift that ban on that beach, and I'm flying out there.
Yes, sir. You have a blessed day too, my man. Enjoy the weekend. Hit the boat, do some fishing, and I'll definitely let you know when they lift that ban.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
All right. Yeah, man. Be safe.
See you, dude.